So it's an MP3 player. I don't know whether they're, the one upstairs is fast.
Working on a ship we may never sail on. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. We're gonna build it anyway. Hosea Ballou said the truth is courage. Ship gonna sail someday. Forest Church said one light, many windows. Ship gonna sail someday. Sophia Foss said it matters what we believe. Ship gonna sail someday. John Murray said give 'em hope, not hell. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. We're gonna build it anyway. Margaret Fuller said, I accept the universe. Ship gonna sail someday. Theodore Parker said the ark bends toward justice. Ship gonna sail someday. Joe Hill said, don't mourn, organize. Ship gonna sail someday. William Channing said the power of love replaced the love of power. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. We're gonna build it anyway. Mother Teresa said, small things with great love. Ship gonna sail someday. Ralph Emerson said, always do what you're afraid to do. Ship gonna sail someday. All of them are gone now, but we're still building. Ship gonna sail someday. Ship gonna sail for peace and justice. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. Ship gonna sail someday. Working on a ship we may never sail on. We're gonna build it anyway. We're gonna build it anyway. We're gonna build it anyway. Thank you all. Good morning. We all here? Got our heads in the same place. This is not working. Got our heads in the same place that our feet are? All right, thank you. This is All Souls Unitarian Universalist Church. We do not have to think alike to love alike, and that's pretty much the covenant that this congregation is built on. Whoever you are, whatever your age, race, origin, orientation, background, status, ability, identity, if you care to be here with us in mutual respect, you're always welcome. We try to treat respectfully those with differing paths and opinions. It is not always an easy thing to do. Doesn't mean that we have to agree with people. But treating people respectfully is not acquiescing. Anyway, our board person is ill this morning, so Miss Susan, do you want to make announcements, or did we have someone filling in? Okay.
We had a really good time at game night Friday night. We just, played some new games. Thanks to Bennett Upton. He's always got something new and interesting to play. So next month around, please come join us on Friday night. We have lots of food and bring a drink of your choice. We've got a lot of summer activities coming up. The kids are doing, finishing their air dry clay projects today. I believe they're painting those. Highland Blessing Dinner, we're hosting the second Thursday this coming month on September 11th instead of the first. So our giveaway the plate recipient for the month is Red River Radio, which is a very timely focus since all of the funding has been cut for those organizations. So anything that goes into the plate that's not earmarked for a pledge or something else will go to Red River Radio.
And the plate's back here, the basket.
Yes, it's a basket on the little metal stand on the way out the door. Kathy Osuch is our volunteer of the month. She does an amazing job. She hosts the dinner and discussion group that goes on twice a month. She's going to be hosting our swim party on August 31st after the service at her house. So thank you, Kathy, for everything that you do. Speaking, also we have Yoga for Palestine that's here, right, on August 30th. It's going to benefit the school there in Gaza, which is, I was looking for the name of it, Ajawa School, but you know, it's there, and they have, I believe, a psychologist, and they provide education and daytime activities there. So come. Food, yeah, very important. Yeah. And then our water communion service is August 31st, and if you have water that you've collected on your vacations or different places that you've been this summer, or you just want to bring some symbolic water, it doesn't have to necessarily be from the place, but we have our water communion water that we collect, and you'll pour some of that in and give a brief description of where you've been this summer and all of the adventures that you've had. I think that's it for me.
I just have one thing. The September the 4th, the reason we are not hosting the Highland Dinner that night is that there's actually going to be a meeting here for people who are either interested in running for office or might know people who are interested in running for office, in which case I would hope you would invite them and bring them. There'll be one meeting on Thursday night at 5. There will be another one Saturday morning, I believe at 10. So they're the same meeting, and it's sponsored by a group called the League of Conservation Voters. It is nonpartisan. Whoever comes that's interested in running, that wants to learn more about that process and what it takes, we're hoping to have some public officials come and talk about their jobs, what they do. We're going to look at 2026 and what offices are coming up. Again, nonpartisan. We're not telling anybody who to vote for or how to vote, but we just want to get some new blood, some younger blood maybe, into some of our offices where so many often are unopposed when they run. So we're going to be looking at that September the 4th or September the 6th. It's the same meeting, and that's leading up to a candidate training that will be at Mount Canaan Baptist Church on October 24th and 25th. So like I said, if
Do you know if they have a list of what people might run for?
that's going to be discussed that night, I know. We can maybe compile that between now and then. Barbara asked if there was a list of what people might run for, what offices are coming up. I know that some of the legislative positions are coming up, and yeah, we can. And very important, Public Service Commission seat is coming open. Foster Campbell is term limited this time, so we're kind of watching that race. That's your utility bills. That's phone calls to prisons. It's a lot of stuff. Anyway, come and learn and bring anybody that you think might be interested. September 4th or September 6th. Thanks. I am playing the piano, aren't I?
I'm going to ask that you join in singing this the second time around. Stay back.
Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me. Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, told us what we think we become. Robert Louis Stevenson wrote, "To be what we are and to become what we are capable of becoming is the only end of life." Poet Richard Blanco, who was the presidential inauguration poet for the second Obama term, wrote, "We are always becoming. It never stops." Beloveds, we are from the flame of Channing's truth. This tradition is from the flame of Channing's truth, Olympia Brown's relentlessness, and Louisa May Alcott's defiance of societal expectations, and Thoreau's solitude of freedom or freedom of solitude. We are here, heirs of a theology that says love is love. The soul is not gendered. That covenants live in our heart, that no courtroom law can, not courtrooms laws can be cruel and narrow. No, that, it must be a typo. It has to be a typo. That courtrooms laws can be cruel and narrow, but our faith remains wide, widening still more. You are not alone. We have always been here, from pulpits to picket lines, from the ancestors you called heretics to our kitchen tables, where we sat with chosen families, speaking our truths into becoming real. This world may pass bans, overturn laws, rewrite constitutions, threaten us, but our identities were sacred before we had names today. again and every day, we declare we are beauty and goodness and unicorns with a bit of rainbow and a lot of heart. We gather now knowing that we are literally love becoming. We were never meant to hide. We were always meant to blaze. Would someone like to lead the first part of our chalice lighting? Thank you so much.
You like this chalice?
This is the church of the open mind. This is the church of the helping hands. This is the church of the loving heart. Together with mind, hands, and heart, we care for the earth and for each other. Thank you. The chalice signifies our oneness with all that is sacred, our oneness with each other. In its flickering light, we are reminded that ancients told stories and wrote parables to explain what they had found when exploring the mystery. That's all religion is. People wondering about where we came from, why we are here, and where we go after we die. The Bible, the eightfold path of Buddhism, the principles, sources, and values of our own Unitarian Universalist tradition, all are just ideas people had about what makes life meaningful. What you think about holiness is just as valid and just as true. What you think about holiness is just as valid and just as true. So, what do you think about holiness? What do you think about God? There's nothing to be afraid of. Your spiritual quest begins every now. Would you rise in body or spirit and say with me the unison affirmation, please? Love is the doctrine of this church. The quest for truth is its sacrament, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to serve human need, to the end that all souls shall grow into harmony with the sacred. Thus do we covenant with each other. All right. You get to do this one again. We introduced it last week, right? Love will bring a root down. Love will drown out a tyrant. Compassion and connection build a power that can rival the sun. Love will bring a root down. Gotta keep an open hydrant. If they can't keep us hating one another, they can be undone. Practice thinking thoughts that are kind about the very ones that drive you out of your mind. Ground the faith, wire shooting sparks in the air. To light your heart and guarantee the sparks will stay there. Love will bring the roof down. Love will drown out a tide. Passion and connection build a tower that can rival the sun. Love will bring the roof down. Gotta keep an open hydrant. They can't keep fighting one another, they can be undone. If hatred feeds the darkness, it's counting on you. If you and hating every blinking thing that they do, entertain the notion there's a twist that can break the cycle that divides us for humanity's sake. Love will bring the roof down. Love will drown out the tide. Passion and connection build a power that can rival the sun. Love will bring the roof down. Gotta keep an open hydrant. If they can't keep us fearing one another, they can be undone. No, it's talking magic, every scientist knows. Your power gets directed where your energy goes. It is a wasted effort to untangle inside. Turn the flow around and let your little light shine. Love will bring a roof down. Love will drown out the tide. Passion and connection build a power that can rival the sun. Love will bring a roof down. Gotta keep an open hydrant. If they can't keep us hating one another, they can be undone. If they can't keep us fighting one another, they can be undone. If they can't keep us hating one another, they can be undone. Wonder how much I can raise that and still have the tenors and baritones sing. So it's not so low for everybody else. Anyway, thank y'all for singing with me.
So before I start this, y'all are gonna help me remember that we're gonna sing a song together after the story and before we sing the children and youth out, okay? Because I know habit's a powerful thing and it kicks in. First of all, did the kids get a bag? And really, if anybody wants to go grab a bag, in their bag are some markers and a little mini clipboard and some extra paper, index cards to draw on, but also there's a little, I kind of call it a kid's order of service, and it's got on the front our shared values, and my story today is about becoming Jet Pig, or being the Jet Pig you want to see in the world. Yes, thank you. I was just coming. Thank you so much. I was just coming to get Jet Pig. And who is Jet Pig? What is the meaning of Jet Pig? Anybody remember?
Y'all know any of the words for jet pig?
Like justice, yeah, equity. I heard.
Somebody said all of them.
All of them, yeah. Thank you, Jackson. Transformation, yeah, so justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, and generosity. And then what is on Jet Pig's back that makes him Jet Pig? His jetpack. And what powers Check. Love. Love is at the center, just like it's at the center of the logo here. So what I wanted to talk about a little bit is if you open up, first of all, there's a flaming chalice dot to dot, and there's also some scrambled words on the back that you might kind of recognize what words those are, and just an earth-centered little coloring thing. But what I wanted to do is look at where it says this is JetPig, and I apologize, I did not bring JetPig, the other JetPig down from the office, the one that was in the picture, that the kids actually made and filled his jetpack with all different little cards with the values. But as we said, JetPig has a jetpack powered by love, and what I'd like you to do as you kind of go through your daily life, kids and grown-ups, is think about these values, and it's really easy to think about them, right? Because you got JetPig right there. Aw, aren't you sweet, Mr. Steve? Thank you so much. He watches Facebook for us, and he saw a need and filled it. That is so like him. Anyway, so yeah, JetPig's got a little, they got their jetpack, and then they've got just all of these cards that the kids did with illustrations of the different values. So you are welcome to look at that after the service. And I know I'm getting out of the camera. But what I wanted to do is when you think about your daily life, like for instance, justice. It says justice, we need to be strong and dismantle racism and other oppressions, other ways that, that people can be mean to other people, especially people in power, being mean to other people. We need to be strong and dismantle racism and other oppressions for justice. So where, if you're in your daily life, your day-to-day, where might you want to think about justice? Like in your personal life, let's say you see somebody getting bullied. How would you act with a sense of justice? I heard something. You tell the bully to stop, right? And maybe get some friends with you to tell the bully to stop. Maybe if you need to talk to a grown-up, to have so that the grown-up can have a conversation with the bully, there's some things that you can do. What?
Bob was raising his hand.
What, Bob?
Whether you know the person being bullied or not, you start a conversation with the person being bullied as if they are a friend.
That's a wonderful idea. Bob just said start a conversation with the person being bullied, whether you know them or not. Start a conversation with them as if they are your friend. And I've heard of things like that happening on buses and other places where people are together. So that's a really good idea. So if we're thinking about equity, what's the difference between equity and equality? Who remembers? Right, equality, everybody has absolutely the same. There's that illustration of the guys standing on boxes watching the baseball game, and if they all have the same level of box, the little short guy is still not going to see. But then there's a wonderful one where the fence just gets taken down so that the barriers have been removed for everybody. Transformation. So when you're going through life, who's had anything change in their life ever? Everybody, right? Everybody, no matter what age you are, you're going to go through some kind of change. Is it always easy? Is it always fun? No, sometimes it's really hard, even when it's a necessary change, even when it's something that in the end, at the other side, you're going to be better. So transformation is about those big changes in our life and how we can look at what we want to become and how and what we can do to get there. And so that's just another way that JetPig reminds us of what we do. Pluralism, what does that mean? You think about something singular versus something plural. Shout it out in your big preacher voice.
Pluralism means there's more than one way.
Yeah. There's more than one way, and we're better when we make room for differences, right? What about interdependence? What does that mean? That we're all connected. And how does that help us when we're going through our daily life to remember that? How does it help us to remember interdependence? Kindness. What else, Jackson? You were going to say it. Okay, that's all right. I think when we remember, like we have talked about the interdependent web, like all the threads that connect us, even if we don't see them. I think when we're mad at somebody, it can be helpful. It can be hard sometimes, but it can be helpful to remember those threads and to remember that we really are all connected and that what affects that person is going to affect me too.
I was going to say to be mindful of what's good for the whole, whether it's what we would prefer or not.
That's really good, Reverend Barbara, to think about what is good for the whole, what is good for everybody, even if it's not the very best thing that we would want for us. What is going to be the best for me, for my friends, for my family, for people I don't even know? What's going to be the best for all of us? And what were you going to say, Jennifer? Yeah, that is so true. What we do affects not only other humans, but it affects nature, it affects the planet. And so that's another reason to really think about interdependence. And finally, what's the big deal about generosity? Why do we want to think about generosity? Why do we want to be generous? To help other people, yeah. We would want the same for ourselves if we were in need. That's right. And then there may be a time, I love that song, Lean on Me, that says, lean on me. There may be a time when I need someone to lean on, and I think it's the same. It's we all try to remember to help each other and to ask for help. That's a big thing for some people. It's a really hard thing to do, but to ask for help when you need it. So, what are you going to remember from day to day to day? You're going to remember JetPig, and I just think it's a really easy way to think about. And it's not that we've given up on the 8 principles. The 8 principles are wonderful, and they're all inside these values. And so, this is just a quick and easy way to remember the values that we want to live by, the people that we want to be, the JetPig that we are becoming. All right, and we're going to sing a song before we sing the kids out.
Susan's going to play the melody, and then we'll sing it together, okay? They're just here to help lead.
Just begun. I am one, I may come.
feeding back. Thank you.
So I'll just play that black hole on
I am who I'm becoming. I am. All have I done. I am what I am dreaming. I only just begun. I am who I'm becoming. I am all have I done. I am what I am dreaming. I've only just begun.
Same thing with we.
We are who we're becoming. We are all that we've done. We are what we are dreaming. We're only just begun. We are who we're becoming. We are all that we've done. We are what we are dreaming. We've only just begun.
Thank you. Would you help us sing the children out to their classes?
Go now in peace, go now in peace, make us love surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go.
Did all of you get a slip of paper with a pencil? You may want to look at it during the meditative part, but I'll talk about it after that. This reflection was composed during the pandemic on June 30th, 2021. And the author, Kimberly Ann Tomczyk Carlson, begins by quoting Ursula Goodenough, a scientist and religious naturalist, who wrote, "Tales of natural emergence are far more magical than traditional miracles. Emergence is inherent in everything that is alive, allowing our yearning for supernatural miracles to be subsumed by our joy in the countless miracles that surround us." The words witness butterfly metamorphosis at home leapt off the educational catalog into my imagination in April. We had begun homeschooling, and I impulsively decided we should get a butterfly garden. It was the end of the long winter. Our house felt small as 3 of us occupied the space 24 hours a day. Some of you may remember that kind of feeling. My partner was not thrilled about adding caterpillars to our household. We want to raise insects? I replied that it would be educational and there would be butterflies. I wanted to watch something grow, become something new, and then be joyfully released. I needed a reminder of predictable life cycles. I was convinced my child needed this too. One of the great joys of having children in your life is witnessing them explore their intention of becoming. The world is wide open to them, and everything is possible. As we get older, our unfolding is not always visible or recognized. Perhaps becoming is just more internal during adulthood. Anyway, how hard could it be to raise butterflies? Each night we would place the butterfly garden angled just so in the window to catch the morning light. It turned out that becoming a butterfly requires sunlight. We did get to witness metamorphosis at home. Sometimes it was really gross. Chrysalis can be gooey. Once it was almost tragic as the cat's fascination took flight and the chrysalis got knocked around. The experience was filled with unexpected drama and fear of failure, yet ultimately magical and absolutely worth it. The daily shared experience of observing the transformation was salve for our nature-loving souls. Each chrysalis that hatched felt like a miracle. Emergence, becoming, is inherent in each of us. Often we forget how miraculous we are. The sheer improbability of our existence escapes us, and we need a butterfly garden-shaped reminder. Thank goodness there are small miracles surrounding us. She offers a prayer, give us patience and presence to trust in a world that is still wounded, but always worth it. May we know, too, we are a miracle that is unfolding. What I would like for us to do with these pieces of paper is first consider what we see our nation becoming right now. Somehow I imagine that pretty quickly we can populate a list of that with concerns, if nothing else. And then I want us to notice when we think about what we ourselves are becoming, how much harder it is to come up with ways that your own life is under metamorphosis, at least internally. And then I want to invite us to dream a little and project a little. And we can also include things that are not positive, because they are certainly part of the picture. But what we imagine our community becoming. What are we becoming? What are you becoming? What is this becoming? I'm quite sure that everyone here, if you can just think about that some as we go along, that would be great. That's what the paper is for. But I'm quite sure that everyone here recognizes that life is change, right? Nothing stays the same. And I know I've mentioned before that during my lifetime, you know, things that once upon a time I thought were pretty constant and had some kind of trust in, some kind of faith in, have all changed. When I was young, when I was a young, modestly middle class, white kid, we believed the government could be trusted to protect us from foreign enemies. 9/11 changed some of that. There are other things afoot now that may make us wonder. We thought that leaders of churches and schools were people that could be trusted, and then we started learning about pedophilia and abuse and embezzlement. I don't know. All of the things that made the people we thought, just by nature of the position they were in, they should be trustworthy. We found out that wasn't true. But we also thought that our neighborhoods were safe. We played outside. We ran all over the place on our bicycles and knew that we had to be home by the time the street lights came on. But kids were outside. Kids were not always within the line of sight every minute. And now in my neighborhood, there are people who walk their children to the bus stop every morning. And there are people that drive their children to the bus stop every morning because they don't trust the neighborhood to be safe. And we get things in the mail that tell us that people are on the sex offender registry. I mean, you know, shots get fired, cars get broken into. The neighborhood is, parents are not willing to let their kids just run without being attended the way that they used to. At that point in my life, we believed that God was love and America stood for freedom for everyone, even though we've never fully grown into that. The truth may well be that none of those things were safe to begin with. And maybe they are less safe than they used to be. I don't know. But I know that when the truth gets exposed, there's more to consider than we thought when we had a very superficial understanding of stuff. Recently, former President Obama pointed out that sometimes we assume democracy moves in a straight line. But the fact is, sometimes it's one step forward and two steps back. Former First Lady Michelle Obama wrote, "You may live in the world as it is, but you can still work to create the world as it should be." So as we do this exercise and consider what we think this nation is becoming and what we are determined to help it become, and also consider, what are you becoming? Because if you think you're already there, you're not staying the same whether you think you are or not. There's a paradox that's kind of interesting, that the flow of our lives is not static, but we can stagnate at the same time. Isn't that kind of trippy? Our bodies are aging continuously. Our minds fill up and float and focus and fixate and empty. I had to break the alliteration for some people here that hate them. Our emotions shift with circumstances and thoughts, but all of those things continue to shape how we become from this point out, right? The song, Love Will Bring a Brute Down, is all about our practices of not letting our energy all go to the negativity of what we might observe without grounding it in something that's positive and light generating. If we don't have as clear an idea of who we are becoming as we have of what we think the world and the nation is becoming, we're cheating ourselves of effectiveness in the things that we really do have influence over. I have a meditation book that I read often, and I want to share one of the readings from it. The book is Promise of a New Day. But it doesn't always credit the writings. I guess they're from a group source. But our inner guide, our conscience, desires to be heard every step of our way today. And the choice to listen is easy if we've developed trust in those messages that come from our heart. There's no absolute path we need to follow in this life, but some will be more advantageous to our destiny than others. And some paths will weave themselves more smoothly among the paths of other travelers. We are all moving toward a common destination. How thrilling is it to recognize that there's a message center within that has foreknowledge of our needs today. We know what we're going to need. We may not know we know what we're going to need. And of the direction most fitting to the growth that's in store presently. We're not lonely, forgotten figures in the universe. We have purpose. And we can fulfill our purpose if we are acting in concert with our heart's message. When we move softly through the day, we can be certain of hearing the words that are forming within us. So today I'll take slow, sure steps and know I'm on the right path because I'm listening as I go. So here we are, and here we go. You and I, we are the pieces of the puzzle that shape what the picture is going to look like. We are as much a part of shaping this narrative and what comes after this as any other humans on the planet. Kind of hard to believe, huh? It's about connection, though, right? Working together, collaboration, joining forces, creating power. one day at a time, one step at a time, one choice at a time, creating who we are becoming individually and collectively, one more day, one more step, one more choice, one more opportunity in this perpetually shifting, moving, changing world of indescribably beautiful dreams, inexplicably horrendous nightmares and surprises. This ship, this light, no matter how small the increments are, moving forward. We are participating in what shape it will take beyond this. Please let us remain intentional, not only about who we think we are, and who we want to continue to be, but also about who and what we are still in the process of becoming in a continuing to unfold universe of inevitable change. I would like to invite the choir up to, we're going to sing this song. We will be operating a cappella, but the choir's going to sing the first verse. Then I invite you to sing the second verse with us seated, and then I invite you to stand up to sing the third verse with us, if you will.
Are we going to sing it a cappella this time?
Yes.
Oh. I keep thinking that means something other than what it means.
An endless song above earth's lamentation. I hear the real, the far off hymn that hails the new creation. Then calls on the strife, I hear the music winging. When friends by shame though in my soul, how can I keep from singing? What though the tempest round me roars, I know the truth, it liveth. What though the darkness round me flows, doesn't the light it giveth? No storm can shake my inmost calm, while to the rock I'm clinging. Since love reveals from heaven and earth, how can I keep from singing?
Play the third verses as they were short. Okay, wait. Ready?
When tyrants tremble as they hear the freedom ringing, when friends rejoice both far and near,
that we have been separately and all that we will become together is stretched out before us and behind us like stars scattered across a canvas of sky. We stand at the precipice, arms locked, together like tandem skydivers, working up the courage to jump. Tell me, friends, what have we got to lose? Our fear of failure? Our mistrust of our talents? What have we got to lose? A poverty of the spirit? The lie that we are alone? What wonders await us in the space between the first leap and the moment our feet, our wheels, however we move our bodies across this precious earth, touch down softly on the next unknown soil. Blessed Spirit of life, you have sustained us, enlivened us, and enabled us to reach this moment. Give us courage in our leaping and gratitude in our landing, and share with us in the joy of a long and fruitful journey together. Go in peace. So be it. Ashe and Amen.
Come along, been along, played along, gone a long way. You're walking tall, walking hard on sacred ground. I'm walking out of the game. No one's gonna stop me now. Spent too many years learning how. And I got it down. I'm through with that old charade, 'cause through the years I threw it all away. You give your heart, give your time, give your dreams, give them all just to lay. And no one's gonna stop me now. I spent too many years learning how. No, I got it down. Come around, hang around, make the rounds. Come around here again. And if you lie, if I'm there, if you cry, see if I care. 'Cause no one's gonna stop me now. God